At home with Power BI, I'm Zahir Raymond from Sigma BI. Today I'm going to show you how to calculate the running total sales using DAX. We're going to be using the calculate function. We're going to use the month to date and the year to date function too. You can also use this in your financial reporting. So if you wanted to calculate the number of invoices coming in throughout the day or the month, you'll be able to use this function. So without further ado, let's get going. Let's go. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create the month to date, quarter to date and year to date results. And we're going to do that by using DAX and specifically the calculator function. The calculator function is one of the most important functions within DAX and is probably going to be used more times than any other function that you have. So what we're going to do is, before we get started, by the way, is I'm going to explain the dates key. So the dates key, you will probably hear me say that a lot whilst creating these measures, but I'll just bring it up and I'll just show you. The date key is just the date, just the full date. So it's basically, you'll know what I mean when I put in these functions, so you can replicate that if that's what you're doing. Okay, so we're going to go back to report, and what I'm going to do is I've put the year, the month name, and the day of the month number in there as well. And this is where it'll help us see the data and how the functions work. So I've already created these measures, but I'll do it whilst with you again, just so you can see how easy it is to do. So first of all, I'm just going to create a new measure and we're going to do the total sales. So I'm just going to use hash so it'll come to the top. So total sales equals sum. I'm going to use a sales amount in the fact sales table. Okay. So that's giving us it, and then we're going to put this in the table. Great stuff. So basically saying 2014, so how much it was, and it's gone by months, which is what I want. The way you get this is make sure that you have the year, month name, day of the month number as well in the rows. Okay, all right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a new measure that is going to be the total month to date. So let's create a new measure. I'm going to say total month to date equals, okay. So this is where we're going to use the first calculate function. So if we start pressing calculate, use the calculate function. Total sales. So we're going to use the measure that we have just created. We're then going to use the function dates and MTD, month to date. And then that's where we're going to add the date key. So as I showed you earlier on, the date key is just the column with all the dates in. Okay, close that parentheses, close it all, enter. Okay, I didn't put a hashtag in front. Let me just do that now. Basically the hashtag, if you want to get used to doing the hashtag, it's quite good because it'll bring all the measures up to the top of whichever table you're in. Select that, and that should bring up the total month to date. Now when you look at it, it looks the same and you think, well, what was the point of that? If we drill down then into the month, that will then show us that on the first it was 6 million, sorry. and so on. So I'll just add those days up together. When it comes to the total amount at the end. Okay, so if we draw back up, we just leave that one there. So that was the month to date. If that's what the kind of analysis that you're going to be using, this would be quite handy. So if you're in the financial area and you want to know how much of the invoices have come in, this is a measure and a calculation that you can potentially use for that. Great. So we'll quickly move on to the next one, which we're going to do, create the total quarter to date. And these functions, as long as you have got a date table in, these are all, you should be able to create these with no problems. Quarter date. Okay, so we use a calculate function again. Okay, and then we're going to use our total sales measure. Okay, remember it's the dates, and if it was the MTD, the last one, this one is going to be dates QTD. That opens up, and we're going to use a date key. Close the parentheses. That will then bring us up to quarter to date. So as you can see, from January, February, March, it all adds one to the other, and then it restarts again in April. Great. So now we're going to do the year to date. Okay, so again, the calculate function, total sales, and the dates, and we're going to use the dates YTD. Open up, use the date key, close that up, let's add that into the table. And what that should show us now is the year-to-date results. It's adding all those months up till it gets to the end. And that's it, that's how it's done. Get used to using the calculate function, as you'll be using it a lot more than expected if you are a constant user of Power BI or you're looking to get into it. DAX is going to be one of the hardest topics in Power BI, but if you can get on top of it and start using these functions earlier on, it'll really help your development. Thanks for watching, guys. At home with Power BI with me, Zahir Rahman. Like and subscribe now to get all the latest information on the new videos.